At the headquarters of the superhero team known as the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, experiments around with a new invention in the high-tech home filled with computers while his tiny helper robots move around and support him. Meanwhile, Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, and Ben Grimm, aka the Thing, are relaxing, engaged in a deep conversation. As Johnny grieves the loss of his former social life, especially, as he puts it, all the phone numbers of every woman I ever knew, Ben dismisses it but urges him on, calling it an opportunity for a fresh start. Their conversation is interrupted as Susan Storm, aka Invisible Woman, enters the room annoyed and interrupts their chat. She criticizes them for doing nothing as work lies unfinished. Ben justifies the lack of action, stating that the Doombots, robotic helpers, are doing just fine. Ben goes suddenly silent before Susan has a chance to respond. He finds something amiss. Doombots that he would trust had vanished. Meanwhile, the missing Doombots are assembled in the Baxter building, apparently strategizing. The way they moved points to a thoughtful, almost reflective approach to making choices. Sue observes the location with Ben, Johnny, and herself as they arrive at the site. Down in his lab, Reed is engaged in his latest discovery when Sue, Johnny, and Ben find him. Sue yells for him in frustration. Reed, unfazed, lists unfinished projects, among them home security and a floating horse for Franklin, before getting real about his priorities. A 2-point gravitational power source intended to analyze alternate realities. Reed has to clarify. He explains how he has constructed the Bridge, a massive futuristic instrument that enables its operators to view alternate Earths and learn how to best solve similar problems. Susan expresses concern about the importance of an activity. Reed is determined that understanding why things are wrong is more than a personal moment. Despite his intelligence, he's realized that making the world better is far more complex than he initially believed. Outside, a hammer tactical team is heavily armed and ready to take the Fantastic Four down. Their commander states that this team is suspended from the initiative program and must be terminated immediately. Expecting a fight, he tells his men to suit up. Inside, Reed states that he must take action now. Time works differently in the Bridge, he says. To me, I'll be away for like a second. Sue, clearly worried, asks how he can keep risking himself emotionally. Reed reassures her, I will always come home, he vows, before entering the Bridge. At this moment, Hammer agents crash into the Baxter building. There is chaos in the control room as they ask for floor plans. Johnny instantly recognizes the attackers as Osborn's men. Sue steps in to take command, giving orders. The Baxter building is surrounded by a giant energy field. Inside, Sue, Ben, and Johnny prepare to escape. Just before they can, however, they are hit out of balance by a shockwave that turns the room dark. Johnny, annoyed, flames up, but Ben tells him it is a small area and he needs to keep it together. Sue instructs Ben to release them. Johnny goes downstairs to see what is happening. As Ben opens the elevator doors, the team is suddenly sent to a completely different location. The Fantastic Four find themselves in an ancient jungle, the Savage Land. Meanwhile, Reed considers the consequences of his previous decisions, the Superhuman Registration Act, the Illuminati's choices, the secret invasion. Even as the Fantastic Four fight for survival, Johnny battles a celestial, Susan fights off strange monstrous creatures, Ben struggles against dinosaurs, Reed dives into the vastness of the multiverse. Through the Bridge, Reed looks in on a critical moment from the Civil War affair. His research revealed that out of 12 million realities, the Superhuman Registration Act caused 3 million conflicts, with only 418 ending peacefully. Retrieving alternate Earths to study, Reed discovers major differences. Earth 155. Reed and Hank Pym passed the Registration Act without Tony Stark. Pym died early, thus avoiding extended conflict. Earth 3490. Steve Rogers had a romantic relationship with Natasha Stark, aka Iron Woman. Earth 1789002. A serum gave everyone superhuman abilities, removing the differences that led to conflict. There's also a medieval Earth, where Queen Susan Storm has absolute power, and Tony Stark heads the rebellion for democracy. She-Hulk, Spider-Man, and others join Stark's cause with an approaching battle. Meanwhile, now in the role of the Queen's Guard, Captain America is preparing to strike back. One thing remains consistent in Reed's studies. In the 418 peaceful timelines, Tony Stark's non-existence, or mastery of his own struggles, shifted the outcome. Reed understands that working independently, without Stark or Pym, might be the answer to preventing disaster. As Reed continues his research, one alternate reality collapses into non-existence. The battle is huge, including the Thing, Iron Man, and others, and then it disappears. The Fantastic Four, separated from their world, have reformed in a confused 18th century pirate world.